I'm going to start the recording just so I don't forget about it.
Okay.
And I'm glad that there are people here. Well, we're not yet, but I just started the recording so that I don't forget about it.
Okay.
Okay, Lori is still working.
My smiley face is looking a bit lost in the UK there.
Where am I? Huh. I think I'm here somewhere. Oh, wow, that came out big.
The sun's shining in Argentina.
All right, I'm obviously doing something wrong. Because every time I put it in, when I click off, it comes out.
Yeah, I think you need to click enter once you put it down, or just...
Okay, let's see. Enter. Nope.
So Lisa, just use one of those little circles or worlds down below.
Okay.
Don't use the icon.
Okay, that worked.
Okay, where's Hawaii?
Right.
Isn't that? Oh, wait a minute. Hawaii's not on here?
It's probably under the click and drag.
To draw your own Hawaii.
I'm in the middle of the Pacific right now.
But you're not from Hawaii.
I know, but that's where I am. Okay, I'll put my other one in. I'll put my smiley face in Hawaii and then put my real one.
I think I put myself in Canada. There's somewhere like there. Long Island isn't on here either. I should draw it first.
I'm not sure I trust my geography enough to draw you some Hawaii. Heidi, you're back.
Yes, I had to get my 4-year-old set up for the next hour or so I don't get interrupted. Sorry about that.
You had a bit of peace and quiet. We seem to have about 4, 6, 8, 20. Oh, we've got 21 viewers of our help document here, so there could be lots of folk on the way. Let's just tweet that out as well.
Okay.
That's our time.
All right, welcome everybody to the Global Classroom 2012-2013 celebration, looking forward and looking back webinar. So our moderators for today are Lisa and Teresa. So welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
And we'd like to thank Michael Graffin for allowing us to moderate for him. He is sleeping at the moment, and we're happy that we can help him out and share our experiences with the Global Classroom and all of its wonderful community and collaboration that was involved. So if you haven't yet, go ahead.
I was just going to say that. If you haven't already done so, please drag a sticker from the bottom and put it where you are so we can see where everybody is.
And I know there's a couple more people that wanted to come in, but I think we'll give it a minute and then we'll move on.
And I'm going to just tweet one more time that we're starting now.
Okay. looks like a rather small group today, but I'm sure we'll get some more as we go along.
Okay.
Oh, she made it. Excellent. Rositza, welcome.
Hello, Rositza. Oh, Karen, I'm so sorry. It's chilly for you. I'm here in the summer. We're actually not in a heat wave right now, as we've been in all summer.
It seems to have come over to the UK now. We've had a fortnight of very, very hot weather. And we don't cope very well with hot weather.
I think we all need to start getting used to it a little bit more, unfortunately.
You too.
Okay, so okay, I don't know what 14
you ready to
is.
move on?
I think it is cold. Bulgaria. I love talking to all of you from all over the place. So cool. So yes, let's move on. I'll go to the next slide and welcome Joanne.
Okay.
So you are attending the celebration of the Global Classroom 2012-2013. Just to let you know, this started with a very simple flat classroom book club, where it was decided that a group of people wanted to read the Flat Classroom project, wanted to read the Flat Classroom book and learn about the Flat Classroom project, and they started a book club together, and it turned into an amazing wiki full of projects, and we just completed year 2 of the Global Classroom projects, and I'm sorry Michael's not here to just get claps and cheers and everything, because the man is amazing. Michael Graffin, for those of you who don't know who started this whole thing and who's running the whole thing, this is all his baby, and Karen is.
Is this Deb Fraser too, who started it? Who started in 2010, I believe. Michael and Deb kind of started with their own little project and expanded from there. So, quite amazing where it's gone.
It really is. So we're here to celebrate what happened this past year, and talk about what's coming forward in 2013-2014, because this is not ending.
So the aims of this session, Michael's interpretation of View from the Hill, I think, is just like a compilation of everything that went on this year. So we're going to talk about that, and we hope that you can join us with your stories. If you had some experiences in the Global Classroom project, please let us know when you'd like to speak, because that's what the Global Classroom project is about, stories. And so we want to hear from you. Hello. And we will talk about some of the lead teachers that are present here and have helped this year as well. And a look ahead. Looking forward to that.
So what we're looking forward to, what the Global Classroom project is all about really, is meeting people, finding new projects, getting into new opportunities. I know personally for me, I have met more people through the Global Classroom project than probably any other site that I've worked with, and I've done some amazing projects through it and gotten other people involved and gotten people from the Global Classroom project involved in projects I've been doing, and I feel like I have made some really lifelong friends and collaborators, and hopefully many of you have also felt that it's really an amazing place to to be and to be part of, amazing project to be part of.
So this, go ahead, Lisa.
I didn't, was this my turn?
I think this is you. Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk. Right now, it's very difficult to tell how many people are involved in the Global Classroom project because there are 438 registered teachers on the site. And as I was telling Teresa when we were discussing this, is I don't even know if I'm one of those registered teachers on the site. I think I probably am, but I came on the site to and started with the Traveling Rhino project and then just exploded from there. So saying there are 438 registered teachers, I would say there's probably 3 times that amount of teachers actually participating in the projects that are on the site. There are 39 countries involved right now. We want to expand it. So word of mouth is a great way of doing it, and we want to just send our messages out to everyone and say, this is what we're doing in classrooms now, and this is a great way to be involved.
So what a great way to explain the Global Classroom project with all of these wonderful tag words: facilitation, usefulness, community, design, leadership, all of these supports, all of these great words that describe the Global Classroom project and the teachers and students involved in throughout the year and the projects involved. And another thing that, another point that Michael wanted to make is that these students and teachers are not only learning in their classrooms, but they're learning beyond their walls. They're opening up their classroom to other ones globally, sharing their experiences, sharing their thoughts and their hearts with other schools and students. And this is a great picture. I think, Karen, is this from your classroom?
This has to be the rhino because I see a traveling rhino right in the middle there.
Right. Yes, it is. So we'll be talking about the project very soon.
And I think one of the things to be aware of is that these children that we're looking at right now in this picture, they will remember this project forever. They will understand that even though it looks like they're from New Zealand, they got involved in something happening in Africa. Their world was expanded, and they will make the world a better place for us because of what we're doing there.
Yep. Another point that we want to make with the Global Classroom project is this is an opportunity for us to, as educators, share with other educators around the world. And these are some of the places where the Global Classroom project was shared. And pictured are our famous Karen Learnman and Louise Morgan. I said it opposite. Louise is on the left and Karen's on the right. But this is a picture in ISTE, I believe. And I think that Karen's showing, I don't know what you're showing, but
something.
But yeah,
something
this is
showing.
Yeah, there's. Yep. So and just these. Look at the places that we're sharing already all around the world. So it's going to even blossom more. I'm thinking that we're doubling next year, Lisa. I don't know about you. Oh, you're showing the global scrapbook.
And we will be talking about that later. That was a fabulous project too.
Yep. And just to further extend the travels of the Global Classroom project, I do know some of these people. On the upper left is Anne and Karen, and there's Michael with I don't know exactly who on the right in Qatar, and then there's Brenda, and I believe I'm not sure who on the left, bottom left.
Anyone who knows anyone, put it in.
Yeah. Yeah, who's with Brenda on the bottom left, and then there's Karen and somebody, then there's Louise and Paula Noggle on the bottom right. So, yeah, Ann is on the top. Yep.
Oh,
Karen, that's you.
That's so funny. I'm looking at it going, I think that's Karen, but I didn't want to say something.
Yeah, I do. How do you see? We need to meet.
Yeah, Skype doesn't do you justice, actually, but this picture is beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, so it's time to think about moving beyond the meet and greet. I remember when I first started bringing Skype into my classroom, actually, and I started connecting with people. My connections always were, we would sit in front of the computer, we'd wave to them, they'd wave to us, we'd say, what are your favorite books, what are your favorite movies, what do you like to read, okay, it was nice to see you, goodbye. And we never made a connection beyond that. Projects bring you beyond that meet and greet. I can share so many different stories about how my students made connections with children, how I made connections with teachers, how we all made connections with classes and classrooms, much beyond the hello, good to see you. And my students remember this. They didn't remember the meet and greets. What they remembered about meet and greets was, wow, they were fun. Wow, that was really cool. But the projects they remember so much more, the collaboration and the struggles that they go through to work with people and then become successful working with people. And it's amazing. So it's on to story time.
Yep. Here we go.
So Karen, would you like to talk about the traveling, or who would like to talk about the traveling? Karen L. I know that I've done part of this, but if someone else wants to jump in, let us know. Hit your mic. Click the talk button. And in the meantime, I'll just keep talking. So the traveling scrapbooks were really a cool idea. I actually got involved in it and the back end of it. Okay, Karen, you're going to click talk?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, cool.
So why don't you tell us about the scrapbook?
We received a scrapbook, I guess, in April or May, and it had come from the States, but prior to that it had been, I think, Romania, New Zealand, Australia. I'd been all over the place, and it was interesting because my kids had done quite a bit of work digitally, but not as much non-digitally. So when the scrapbook arrived, they were kind of like, what is this? How come it's not online, sort of thing? And then slowly we went through it, and we looked at the pages, and my kids were just fascinated by the different things that kids were doing, but at the same time they were fascinated by the similarities, that even though these kids were so far away and in other grades, bigger grades than us, there were still a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. So when it was our turn, I actually turned it over to my kids, and I said, what do you think we should put in there for the world to see? And we've got a few videos that we've made that they're really proud of, and so I'm like, well, we can make QR codes so we can show those. And then they took photos of the things they wanted, and they wrote out the little pieces that went with the photos. And so it was pretty cool to see, and I know they're really curious to know what happens with it as it keeps on going. So it's been pretty cool. I mean, just a really neat way to collaborate and to do something non-digitally, and how powerful that can be too. I mean, we do so much digitally that it was nice for them to just, cut and glue and all that as well.
So we also got it pretty late in the year, and I know you teach younger grades. Congratulations on your KL Bidder Award.
Thank you.
But I teach 5th grades, and so the children are older, and they also like okay, so what do we do with this now that we have it? It came to me through Michael, but we will encourage Michael to put it on the website for next year. So people can sign up for it. But he actually contacted me and said, it's in New York right now, so do you want it? I was like, okay, sure, why not? And it was really fun for the kids to see where the book had gone and what we could add to it. And we really talked about how important it is to make it look visually appealing, because other people took time to make it visually appealing for us. And we actually created and added our own code, or a QR code to it. We were very excited, and then the kids are like, who's going to know what to do with this? And I said, anyone who gets the scrapbook is going to know what to do with this, because they have to be people who are online somehow. But it was very exciting to see everything, and the kids actually did a little shopping because our book came with things. And you can see here in the pictures, like there's money and, you know, all kinds of things. So we went out and we got magnets that said I love New York, and we got a Long Island sticker, and so it was fun. It was fun. It was a great project. And Rosita is here. Are you still here?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello. Global Classroom, can you hear me? I'm here.
Yes.
Oh, great. You want to tell us about your slides?
We can hear you.
Okay. And here we are. We are from the multilingual classroom with Glogster EDU. You know Glogster EDU?
Yes, I am a Glogster ambassador.
Oh, very nice. I'm too from Bulgaria. Yeah. And last year we were only on Glogster, and this year we are in the Global Classroom with you. Thank you very much that you take us in your excellent project. We are very glad and very proud to be with you in the Global Classroom. Okay, you know our wiki? Do you know our wiki?
Is this a link to the wiki?
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, if you could put it in the chat, it would be great.
Yeah.
And tell us about this T-shirt project.
Yeah. I want other teachers to join our T-shirt project. It is very easy project. You should make a paper colorful T-shirt. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm just
going to listen here. Yeah. And my children, my students made it. Show with a video how to make. Okay, let me copy the link of the page of this project. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Here.
I was trying to share her site, but it has sound, and I couldn't figure out how to turn the sound off. Sorry about that. So if you...
No, I had the same experience. Suddenly it started talking to me. I wondered where the voice was coming from.
I figured that I would share it with everyone while you were talking about it, but it talks to you. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So if we go to your link, then we can join in your projects, is what you're saying.
It is very easy. And we have two partners, one from Romania and they made with us this shirt, and the aim of the project is creative learning. Pupils have fun and make a T-shirt to present themselves.
And what ages are we talking about?
Okay, my students are 10 years old. They will be 10 this year. They were in the 3rd grade, and now we are going to be the 4th grade. 10 years old. But we, all ages, Romanians are from high school. Yeah, they're from high school, and they made amazing T-shirts. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's great.
So I'm also going to talk to Michael about that too, about putting a link to your site on the wiki this year, so that we can get we can connect there too.
It
That's
will be
fabulous.
more participants to add our project, to join our project. Will be great. More people, more children will have fun. And we want to Skype with you too. And to show t-shirts and talk about them. To present
Well,
ourselves.
I know that the age is great for me, so I'm definitely going to look into this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And this is
is it the same one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. You can see here, if you click the link, it is a ThinkLink interactive image, and you should follow our project here.
we're going to have to take a look at that. Thank you.
Click the link.
Thanks, Rosita.
Thank you very much.
So this is me. I teach at the Cathedral St. Raymond School. I'm a technology teacher and coordinator there. And I participated in a few projects. I'm hearing, okay, thank you. Participated in a few projects the past years, and these are the ones that I did with fortunately with my teachers. This was the first year that many of my teachers got involved, and I was very excited about that. So we started with Christmas Around the World with 3rd grade, and we took some pictures, and the students brought in pictures of what they did, what their traditions were for Christmas. And then we did the Edmodo Pen Pal project with grades 2 and 3, and we did a sort of a quad blogging, I believe, in 3rd grade, and that went pretty well. We used Edmodo to just have a theme each week and each month, and so one class will ask questions, and then the other class will answer, and that seemed to go pretty well. And we also shared designs. We drew things in Kerpoof and added those depending on what season it was or what theme we were talking about. So that was neat. Throughout the year, we participated in Mystery Skype, mostly with 5th grade, and that has really been a staple in my classroom and 5th grade classroom. Just getting those quick mystery Skypes in. They don't have to be more than 10 or 15 minutes at a time if you're crunched for time. So that really works out. And also participated in several flat classroom projects, and those are on the wiki as well, a link, in kindergarten, 3rd, and 7th. And I manage the Digitine project for 7th grade. So wonderful activities and projects and collaborations with the Global Classroom project this past year. So thank you.
I just want to talk for a minute about Mystery Skypes because someone earlier, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, said that they're teaching geography this year. Was it
Oh, Karen. Wait, was that Karen?
Or Joanne? Somebody said they were teaching geography this year.
Oh, so, Joanne.
And Mystery Skypes are, without a doubt, one of the best ways for kids to learn about geography. For those of you who don't know, what you do is you call, your class calls another class. You know who they're calling, they don't. And they have to ask a series of yes or no questions and figure out where they're calling. And I can tell you when we first started, and we started in the United States because that's where we are, and I figured that would be a little easier for the kids. When we first started, they couldn't even answer the question, and this is 5th grade, and they've already studied this. They couldn't even answer the question, are you on the East Coast? I live in New York, which is East Coast, and I live on Long Island, which sticks out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and they couldn't answer the question of, are you near an ocean? By the time we were done, we had done like 4 in the United States. They didn't need to do any research anymore to answer the questions, and they were going very quickly, and that's when I expanded to the rest of the world. And so every other Mystery Skype call we did after that was somewhere else in the world, And they learned so much about geography. They learned about places they'd never heard of before. They learned about the geography in the Middle East when we Skyped with someone in the Middle East. I mean, just amazing. So mystery Skype calls are really a great way to connect. It is a one-shot deal usually, although there have been many times when I have done a mystery Skype call with a class that I'm going to be working with. So afterwards, and for the Traveling Rhino project, there were a lot of classes I did mystery Skype calls with, and then afterwards we told the kids, oh, we're both hosting Traveling Rhinos. So it's a great vocabulary thing. Okay, Govinda
so this is
not here, right?
Yeah, go ahead. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so you're up.
So Govinda is a teacher in Nepal. He actually runs the SAV school in Nepal, and he has, with many efforts, connected his students online and done, as you can see, has done Google Hangouts and does Skype, mystery Skypes as well, as much as he can. He is very limited. You can see that's his school at the bottom. It's the best that he can do for his students, and he's always trying to improve. And he also has a site where he is looking to improve his school and looking for certain donations and things like that. But I think we'll talk about that. Or if anybody can talk about that, you're more than welcome to as well. But
I've just put a link in.
Oh, good. Thank you. But yeah, his resources are very limited, but he's always trying to connect to students, and I commend him for the wonderful effort that he's done throughout the few years. Yes, he is very passionate. So that's Govinda.
Oh, there he is. And you can see, you know, what he's writing, what he said here is that the Global Classroom project really has brought more of the world to him and his students.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Unfortunately, he had a power cut in webinar 1, so he wasn't able to join us, and power is obviously not particularly reliable where he is. So you never know, maybe he'll arrive.
He's trying to get in, but I don't think he can right now.
Okay. Virtual book clubs. Is Kyle here? No, Kyle is not here. Does anyone here know about this virtual book clubs? Okay. I do know that there's a global global read aloud that I'm going to see if I can find it, that I am going to be a part of this year for the first time. Where,
oh yeah, is that the one with Purnell?
Yes.
Purnell Rip, yeah. I've done that the past few years. It's really good, really fun.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
But I think the virtual book club. Now I know that Kyle, I was a part of it with the Flat Classroom project with her, and we read the book in chapters and kind of did it that way. I don't know if that's what this is about. Could be, because she did do a virtual book club.
And I can tell you, I mean, I don't know about this particular one, but I have done virtual book clubs with my students before where just with another class, and we do it in Edmodo, which is such a great way for kids to connect with each other. I'll have groups read, like reading groups. So kids are reading books on their level with other kids in another class somewhere else in the world reading the same book that's on their level, and they have discussions in Edmodo. And it's really amazing what the kids can contribute. Oh, and here's the logistics. Oh, so he did Flattening Classrooms and Engaging Minds. Okay. So one of the things that, well, the thing that's the most powerful about the Global Classroom Project are the teachers. And we need amazing teachers, and we have amazing teachers, and more and more and more would be fabulous. We can share questions and concerns. I'm really glad that that's right at the top, because I think one of the things that I hear a lot from people is that they're hearing about projects that I do that are successful, and so they're afraid to start because maybe it's not going to be successful for them. One of the things that you find when you start connecting with people is we've all had our failures and continue to do so. And so being able to have a community where you can go and say, help, this isn't working, what am I doing, what's going on, or how did you get this to work because it didn't work for me, is really very powerful. So here's just a way to, if you're interested in starting a book club, you can contact EdTech Dunny. And
it's Kyle. Heidi's here.
Heidi, you're up.
Hi. So the Malala Project was something that started from a Twitter conversation that I was a part of how to become more globally connected this past October 2012. And people kept tweeting during that, how can we use this platform to support Malala? And I think it must have just happened that day where, is there anybody, if you want me put in the chat room, if you want me to explain who she is? Pretty much everybody knows, but if you don't, you may not. I did not know who she was. So I started talking about, well, who is she and what could I do, and took it to the teachers I work with, and I wanted to also try to do project-based learning with using a driving question and all of that. So that's where that kind of came to. How do I advance the slide? Oh, I thank you for advancing that slide. We came up with a driving question, and I had to front load a lot of information, and I was talking to Michael Graffin about it, and he was like, this would be a great project and to get other people involved in supporting Malala and her cause. And so the driving question was, how can we help change cultural perspectives in order to support girls and boys getting equal access to education? It's kind of a big question for my little fourth graders, but they were awesome. So of course I did front load, and I had help from a teacher, Jillian Licata, came up with a great idea of teaching what they need to know what cultural perspectives were. So I put my whole lesson up on the wiki, and then other people started signing up for this, and they started teaching their students about Malala. Maybe they didn't use the driving question, but they started teaching their students about Malala and who she was, and what issues girls in particular, and boys, but mostly girls in particular, face in getting an education. And I can't even tell you how much my students learned. They learned about water issues and how you could make a Q drum and a life straw and how much they cost, and they wanted to start doing fundraisers. They went immediately to the service part. And the great part is that all the while we were having other classrooms join this project, and they were putting up their work teaching their students about who she was and what issues come into play. and my students were able to see that. My students, for their product, for their project-based learning, they made videos, they made posters, one group of boys did a walk to raise money. We were able to show a movie. It was by 10 by 10. Of course, now I can't remember the name of the Girl Rising. Sorry. We did a private screening at our school, and then there was another school. You can advance to the next slide. They were from Honduras, and I put links up there. And I have a haiku deck for that, but they participated and made this whole video about Malala and how they were supporting her. And another school from Taiwan, the Little Stars, they did an incredible amount of work and put their work up on the wiki, the Global Classroom's wiki, to show what they did. And it was just truly amazing. Oh, another school from Japan, they were able to put their work up. And the great thing about this was this teacher, I was actually able to meet him in person, which was really cool. He said, first of all, he had to go through a lot to get permission to go outside of the curriculum, but he did, and he taught all girls. And he said no one ever asked them before what their opinions were about anything, let alone a subject like this. And my students were able to see this, and the amount of learning that took place was amazing. Could you advance to the next slide? There were some unexpected side effects that I learned, which was fantastic in doing a project like this. I began to get a steady barrage of Arabic emails in my tech department. My tech department was like, Heidi, what's going on with all the emails, Arabic emails you're getting? The National Syrian Rebel Army emailed me, and they kept emailing me, asking me for their help. Another person from India, I think they misunderstood what the Malala project was, but I think when you're doing a current topic like that, a global topic like that, and because she got so much attention, that people didn't really understand, who I was, just a little fourth grade teacher from Baltimore, Maryland, doing a project. So it was really interesting, and my passion grew beyond belief to become more globally connected and seeing the importance in it. I'm actually now I was so inspired, I'm going to apply to a master's program at the University of Oregon in Global Leadership for Teachers. It's the first of its kind. If anybody wants to know about it, you can email me. But it was just incredible. You can go to the next slide. So besides project-based learning, globally connecting was a huge learning curve for me, and I think for my school too. I do. I think that maybe people were a little bit nervous, but it was so well worth it. So I just put this. I tried to. How can you even quantify student learning? But you can read there what I thought. It was all encompassing. It was all encompassing and so real world. And if you're going to do project-based learning, what better setting than to be connected everywhere. So anyway, it was really fun. I look forward to doing it again this year.
Thank you, Heidi, and I look forward to being part of it this year. So
One thing, I'm sorry, what's your Twitter ID? Do you have one? Can you put it in the chat? I'm just tweeting stuff out.
Is Karen back? I know she was gone for a little.
I see her here.
I'm here.
Okay,
Yay.
You're up.
Awesome. So my class has been involved with quite a few different collaborative projects, some on bigger scale and some on smaller scale. And so when Michael asked me for a few slides, I just kind of went to my iPad to see what was in it. And so the slides I have are just what happened to be on my iPad. But this first one is just part of the use of Skype, and that's one of my students actually Skyping with Steve Sherman in South Africa. And the connection with him went way beyond just our Skype calls. My students started blogging about him, and when we hadn't Skyped with him for a while, they would actually do a blog post to him, begging, pleading for him to come. So it was really interesting, and they wanted to know more about South Africa. I had one little girl in my class who was actually from Africa, so she was, every time we Skyped him, she was quite excited. And so the two pictures at the bottom are just showing some of the places that we Skyped. So I think the first one, though it's cut off, it's where we are, and then it goes all the way down to where Steve is in South Africa. And then the second one was when we Skyped in Mexico, which I can tell you about. Some of the projects we did that I don't have slides for, we did a global read aloud, and that it took on quite a huge dimension for us. We worked with a class in New York, in Manhattan, and it was the same time that the storm was happening. The storm Sandy came through, and so we had actually lost connection with them. And just going through that and doing a bit of research about what happened. They aren't particularly digital, but so we did snail mail stuff back and forth, and we introduced them to QR codes. So instead of, we kind of did like a flat Stanley project, and so instead of, but we did it with Wilbur's, and so my kids showed our area and our community, and we made QR codes explaining our pictures and sent them. We took part in the 12-12-12 project, where we just took a picture at 12 noon on December 12th, 2012. Within our own district, we did a gingerbread man project with actually, because we connect quite a bit globally, and what I wanted to do was actually connect more locally. And so we involved about 5 schools in our district at the grade 1 level, and we had a little gingerbread man who ran around our school district. And so it just sort of opened my students' eyes up to the different schools and the different things happening at the different schools. But then we actually met face-to-face. We all showed up at one school and had a big collaborative project together, which was pretty cool. We did do quad blogging and primary blogging. That last slide, back one was just tweeting. We did a fair, yeah, that one. We did a fair bit of connecting through Twitter, whether it be just with an author. We created quite a few hashtags this year, and we had other classes joining us. Like when we did math, we were creating clues about 2- and 3-dimensional shapes, and kids were guessing our clues, and likewise other students were adding clues. And that was really great because it invited the whole world in. The thing with Twitter is it doesn't matter what time zone you're on. You can join in the conversation. And at any age, I mean, we go off of my class account, and then the kids just tweet off of individual iPads and then show it with me and then share it with the world. So we did that for quite a bit. I can do the next slide. I don't know what the next one is. This is, we use Skype a fair bit, the same idea with connecting with other classes. A lot of time, my kids have a lot of choice, and one of the choices is always to Skype if I have a class available. So in this slide, it's one of my students. He's actually Skyping with a student in Iowa, and they're learning about 2- and 3-dimensional shapes, so they're giving one another clues. It'd be great to be able to do that more globally. I mean, we are on the Pacific time zone, so that did become an issue. But I already think now it's like, oh, we can make videos and send them back and forth. So it's just, I guess, looking further and maybe opening it up to different people doing the same thing at the same time and being able to share and learn with each other. I'll do the next slide. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out in a minute.
Co-creating.
Co-creating. Yeah, so this was pretty cool. This was, again, another local project that we did, though it would be totally easy to do beyond local. My students came up with ideas for a book. We sent them to a high school class, a local high school class. They actually wrote the book based on our ideas, sent it back to us, and then we did all the illustrations. We actually put the books together in groups of 3. And then there was also a drama class that acted out all the stories. So we actually ended up at the high school, met our authors, met the actors, and saw our work sort of being created. But you could totally take this further, maybe not the visiting part, but the co-creating of stories. I mean, Dropbox and Book Creator, Book Creator is amazingly easy to use to co-create because you can combine books. I mean, every group can make their own page. You can combine it into a new book. You can actually just have a book sitting in Dropbox and different people can add pages to it. And I hope to do more with that. I know I was hoping when we did Canadian Symbols to make it more global. We just ran out of time. I wasn't in my room enough. And that, I don't know what's next. And this is just one of our many Skype calls. This we were Skyping a class in really urban, real rural, and my kids were sharing different parts of our rural environment, our urban environment versus our rural environment. And I think that's all I put in. I'm not sure if there's another one.
Flat Stanley is next.
Oh, Flat Stanley. Yeah, we had a couple of Flat Stanleys come and visit us, and so my kids were quite good at showing off our school. He never actually left our school, but he certainly ran around and just and in both cases we had blogs that we could post to, so it took it beyond just us a one-way share, but it could go back and forth because the kids could actually comment on the things that we were posting, and we could comment back. I think that's
creating story movies with a class in Ontario.
Yes, this one we did. This class didn't have access to Book Creator, so we used Dropbox again, and we read a story that we both liked called Good News, Bad News, and we actually decided we wanted to make our own version. So my class created their own stories without words, but just through images, and her class did the same thing in small groups, and then we swapped the images, and we ended up writing stories, not knowing their stories, but just looking at their images, writing stories to their images, and they wrote stories to our images, and we created the books, quote unquote, in iMovie just because that's what we both had access to. But again, it would be so easy to share illustrations beyond and to make it just that much of a bigger project. I find I tend to start smaller projects, but then I'm like, oh, we could have done this, we could have done that. So it never stops. That's the problem.
Okay, you do have a question in the chat.
The easiest way to share a book on book.
Yes.
What is the easiest? We use Dropbox. So when we're working in Book Creator, we just save it to a Dropbox account. I actually make a folder like for a shared project. So if Lisa and I were doing a project, it would be shared with Lisa's class, whatever. And we would save all our work into the Dropbox, and then I just share the link of the Dropbox, and then the other teacher can easily access whatever's sitting in that Dropbox. So whether we were sharing images or we were sharing actual completed stories or just stories that they can then upload and add pages to, or we can just all the stories can go into one spot, and then we can put them together in one book and then share the finished book. So it really makes it easy. If you have access to Dropbox and you have access to Book Creator, it's so far the easiest one. I mean, anything that will share to Dropbox, you can.
And it's free.
And it's free. Yeah, Book Creator's not worth every penny.
Yeah, most of the things that I choose are free, and I can't live without Dropbox.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was fabulous.
No worries.
And we are now up to Karen and the Traveling Rhinos Project.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, the Traveling Rhinos Project. What a project this has been. It all started in the Kruger National Park last year in 2012 in July. My family and I were on holiday, and we were very fortunate enough to see these 5 wonderful, beautiful, magnificent rhinos drinking water at a watering hole. We went home, and this picture seemed to have been burnt into my brain. It kept on coming back to me, especially when I heard and I saw the rising poaching statistics. And I sat back one day in about November, and I thought, what could I do? I'm just a teacher. I don't have much money to throw at it. What can I do? And then I realized that I can do what I'm born to do, teach, use education. And so having just hosted one of the Global Classroom Memento scrapbooks from Michael, I thought I needed to send something around the world too. So I had 5 unique African stuffed rhinos made, and I sent them in 5 directions around the world. And this is what I wanted to do. I had some objectives, and they basically were just to educate, to raise awareness, to unite the voices of the children of the world, and to definitely make a difference. And I firmly believe that we have made a difference. Unfortunately, maybe not so much in the poaching statistics, but definitely in the knowledge, the awareness around the world. We have touched classes in New Zealand, in Canada, in the USA, from north to south, along the East Coast. None along the West Coast, I want to say, but we will get there. One rhino is in Guatemala at the moment. The rhinos have been in Korea, in Singapore. One is now on its way to England. I have one that has stayed in South Africa, and she's traveling on her way to Durban at the moment. It has just been the most amazing project. If you can move to the next slide. hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Could you move on?
So
There you
this
go.
is,
Sorry. No, it's fine. My screen just froze up. Sorry, can you move back one?
You want me to go back to the...
Okay, no, it's fine. Move
Okay.
on to yeah, to the next one, please. I'm sorry, my screen froze up for a second. I was still stuck on the first slide.
Okay.
Looking back, it's only been 7 months. The project was launched on the 7th of December. And have we achieved what I set out to do? I think so, definitely, and more. What happened was that many of the teachers used it for project-based learning or for problem-based learning. It's a real-world problem, and they were able to give this to their children, and what came out of it was collaboration, problem-solving, investigation, discussion, and then most amazing, all the global connections. Unfortunately, I don't have a class of my own, and I don't have very much buy-in from my school, but I'm working on that. So I have made many of the connections, and it was amazing to connect with the teachers who have done the most amazing job. From New Zealand to Australia, right around the world, it's just been absolutely awesome. And then on the last slide, and so much more. This wasn't an intentional objective. I really didn't mean to try and raise money by this, but some of the teachers and some of the classes got so involved that they started doing all kinds of things to take action. They wrote letters to the newspapers. They were interviewed in their classrooms, and the rhino was shown. And they ended up having Luke in New Zealand had 2 articles put into 2 different newspapers. Lisa, you had the rhino, and you raised an amazing $1,000, which is almost 10,000 South African rand. That can buy 2 rhino tracking collars. Kathy Beach, Anne Miller, Robin Thiessen. I don't want to name too many names because I'm going to leave somebody out, but it has been absolutely amazing. The children had bake sales, they had raffles, they created T-shirts, posters, they ran assemblies to inform the rest of their school. It has really been amazing, and I was only going to run it for this year, and I've extended it already now until June next year.
And I would love to jump in here because, sorry, this was probably the most amazing, unexpected project I've ever participated in. When I first signed up for it, I thought, oh, this is cute. We'll get a little rhino. It'll be like Flat Stanley. We'll, take pictures of them around. It'll be adorable, and the kids will learn about rhinos. And it really took over. I mean, well, the kids took over. I kind of sat back, and the kids took over from there. My curriculum, somebody earlier in the chat said it's hard to fit into the curriculum. I don't work that way. I figure out a way to get the curriculum to fit into what I want to do. So my curriculum, at that time we had to read and write nonfiction texts, and this was perfect. So we really did a lot of research on the rhino problem. We researched who to write letters to. We wrote persuasive or argumentative letters to various government officials in the United States and in Africa, and we wrote to newspapers and just begging for support. At the time that we were doing this, Time for Kids is a newspaper that we get in the classroom. There were 2 articles, one on rhinos and one on elephants that came like back to back. So it worked out perfectly for the kids. Also at the time, the Rhino Wars started on the Discovery Channel, and so the children started watching that, and it just became, oh, they made pillows that everyone online, when I showed them, wanted to buy, but they sold out at our sale. They had wanted to recreate the little stuffed rhino that was in that other I'm just going to go back there a second. These little stuffed rhinos. And they wanted to recreate it, and they asked me how to do it. I don't know art at all, so I sent them to the art teacher, who said, why don't we batik pillows? Batiking is from Africa, and they can learn how to do it, and they did, and they batiked these beautiful, beautiful rhino pillows that were, and they were very, very large too. They're huge. And then the kids didn't want to sell them. So I said, okay, you don't want to sell them. We were going to sell them for $5 a piece. They had to bring in the $5. So I said, look, we did it to raise money, so this is what you've got to do. A lot of the kids bought their own, I would say about half, and the other half, they were sold out so quickly in our bake sale, and I was really surprised because I figured it's a bake sale, everyone wants the cupcakes. But the kids came in with money, and I taught my students during the bake sale to upsell. So any change that was being given, I would say, ask them if they want to donate their change. And so we ended up making a lot of money. It was a one-day, one-shot deal. We had an assembly. We had announcements every morning about what the problems were. I read Karen's Facebook posts every day about really like how many rhinos were poached since January, I think it was.
Yes, yes.
And the kids were like, we have to do more, we have to do more. It really turned into an amazing, amazing project that I really did not anticipate and loved every minute of it. And Karen, I can't thank you enough for, we might not save those 5 rhinos, but
yeah, I hear you. Thank you so much. That's what I want to say now. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every teacher that has taken part so far. Because yes, we might not save those 5 rhinos, but we definitely are making a difference. The children of the world are aware. They know it's out there. And I do believe at the moment 32 classes have taken part so far. And I've got another 50 odd that are signed up, which is going to take us well into next year. And it's just going to reach beyond belief. I'm totally blown away by it. So from the bottom of my heart, I really want to say thank you to you all. For me, this has been a life-changing project. I have made personally, on a personal level, the most amazing connections, and I regard most of you as friends. Sadly, I must just tell you the poaching statistics today stand at, as of the 26th of July, 523 rhinos since the 1st of January, 327 of them in the Kruger National Park where I took that photograph. It's shocking. Absolutely.
I think that was probably the hardest thing for my students to understand, that why is this a national park? And, because here in the United States, doing anything in a national park is a serious crime.
Absolutely.
And they couldn't understand the difference in government. They couldn't understand it. But I'll tell you, the Rhino Wars helped us see that a lot.
That's good, because, and also, the terrain. I saw a video the other day of a helicopter flying over the terrain where the rhinos are. It's like a jungle. It's so difficult to see anything on the ground. I'm not saying, well, I do believe that not enough is being done, but yes. So the project will continue. So all I say is thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that. Is Robin here?
I think Robin went on holiday today, if I'm not mistaken. She took part this morning. She said she was traveling today.
Well, you can see all of the things that Robin Thiessen's class. This was actually one of the mystery Skype calls I did with a class this year, that when we were done, we said, guess what? We're both doing the Traveling Rhinos Project. Because we were part of the Traveling Rhinos Project together, we did mystery Skype calls together, which is what's here. And Robin created the Global Genius Hour Project, which I absolutely loved. That was another thing that I tend to join things saying, whatever, it'll be okay. And then afterwards it happens much later. But the Global Genius Hour Project, the whole idea is that if you give 1 hour a week to whatever the children are interested in, they will do amazing things. And I know for me, like the way I explained it to my class, that this actually comes from, there's a lot of places it comes from, but I first heard it at Google, that Google gives 20% of their people give 20% of their time to whatever, and all kinds of amazing things have come out. And the Global Genius Hour project is the same idea. And so this was something that I grabbed at the end of the year saying, sure, my kids will join in, why not? And I told the kids about it, and I had them write a proposal of what they wanted to do and study during the Global Genius Hour. And then because it was the end of the year, I just didn't really pay much attention after their proposals. And they worked, and they, you know, to me it looked like they were doing a lot of fooling around. I had kids like studying card games and throwing paper airplanes in the hallway and making musical instruments, and just, I thought, okay, they're just fooling around. And one day, we had been doing this for about a month, and one day I said, okay, I know it's June and I know we're almost done, but I want to see what they're doing. And so we came back from lunch, and I had each group go up and present, and I was shocked by the work that they had done. I really thought they would go up and say, I didn't learn anything. And instead, I learned about Prussia and how Prussia got, I mean, just it's so many things. I learned about how to make musical instruments, and I learned about how wingspan and weight affects the flight of airplanes, and I learned about how a baseball mound is different sizes in different ball games because of age to make the game more fair. I mean, just absolutely amazing. So Robin's Global Genius Hour project is a great thing to join into. The one and only Ivan was a book that there was a book project about. Okay. Oh, and there's the Global Genius Hour, more of this. Really, it was really amazing, I know, for me. Here we have the Traveling Rhinos project again. Is Carrie here? Or anyone who can talk about this?
I don't see Carrie. Carrie took part in 2 of our projects, my projects, the Crazy Crazes, and Carrie was the first Australian teacher to receive a Traveling Rhino. And also, I must say, she did an amazing job. So Michael's very proud of her because I think he said she's the first West Australian teacher to become so globally connected through the Global Classroom project. A lovely, lovely lady.
Okay, we're going to go back a minute to Kyle.
Great.
Is she still here?
I'm still here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to head back to your pictures that are here somewhere. There we go. Okay, you're up.
Well, since Teresa was here, I'm sure she already shared a lot about the virtual book club this year. But like some of you, I don't have my own classroom. I'm a technology integration specialist, and I was at a new school this year, so I hadn't built a lot of relationships yet to get any virtual projects going. So I thought it would be exciting to start a virtual book club so that I could get more teachers thinking about global projects and connecting teachers in my district with teachers around the world. And so I really had lots of goals in mind with this. But the real thing was that I just know that when you connect teachers, they share ideas and they get excited about things. We discussed Flattening Classrooms, Engaging Minds, which if you haven't read already, it's such an amazing read. It's really inspiring, it's really concrete and research-based at the same time. And Vicki Davis and Julie Lindsay gave me the Blackboard Collaborate room, so that was how we were able to run it through Blackboard Collaborate. And they were also generous to advertise it and to come to a couple of the meetings and to lend their voices to our discussion, which was great. And Teresa was very, very helpful as a co-moderator. The first session we had over 30 teachers from 5 countries and 4 continents and a lot of Blackboard Collaborate newbies. So there was a lot of time, a steep learning curve for a lot of people to get used to conversing in this setting. But I think, Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. You can advance it. I think what's great, the very first night, one of the quotes was, well, we might all be crazy, but at least we're crazy together. And I think that that was really what was powerful for a lot of the people that signed up for this. It was a lot of what Vicki Davis calls teacherpreneurs, people that wanted to start new projects, wanted to do new things in their classroom, were innovative, were brave in their teaching, and it was really powerful. I'm getting teared up. It was very powerful for them to come together with other teachers that were like that and to feel invigorated, to feel justified, to have concrete solutions about how they could do more in their classrooms for their students. And that, I think, was really what was so powerful about it, as well as, you know, more connections and inspiring each other. Karen talked about the traveling rhinos, and one of the teachers that came to the virtual book club for my district ended up joining that project. And I'll say, you know, it's so exciting to see what other schools have done with the raising money and the raising awareness. The teacher that I worked with, he only had about 8 students. They were all English as a second language students that had come to the United States within the past year. And so our impact was not broad or wide in the way Karen described other things as happening, but those kids learned so much about themselves, about each other, and about rhinos and the world through that project. I just want to say again to Karen, like, you have no idea the impact that you've had with that. You know, watching kids build web pages and draw. They made a children's book, and it'll take us months more before we all get it up because the kids are starting with such little English, so everything takes a lot longer to do. But anyway, so that's just one example of someone that came to the club and joined it there. So I'm taking on some more responsibilities at work this next year. I'm a little worried about starting another one, but I would love if someone else was out there and wants to, you know, do another book this next year. I'd be happy to do Flattening Classrooms again, or to pick something else. I'm reading Mark Prensky's book right now. I can't think of the title of it, but that would lend itself really well. I mean, there's so many books we could do. So if anybody's interested, I'd love to hear more about that. That's sort of the official blog for the book club, and then I'll put in my personal blog on there too. And then obviously Twitter's a great way to get hold of me. Thank you. Thanks for letting me jump in at the end. I'm so sorry I'm late.
Well, thank you very much. That was fabulous.
Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, that was wonderful. And I don't know, Connor, if you wanted to talk a little bit about Govinda's school and the open cause project.
I'll go back to that.
Sorry, I don't know. He didn't say anything, though.
Connor, yes or no?
Adding something in the chat now.
Oh, he's having connection problems. Well, if you make it in,
okay.
In the meantime, I'll go to where we were.
We're at the end.
Okay, so what's your story? So we've had so many, I mean, there are so many things to share. Time to think about, maybe you could write in here what impact the Global Classroom had on your students. I know Michael wanted us to write something in, but
yeah, he did.
I mean, for me, it expanded their horizons. I'll try to write that. I guess you
can also use the typing. Yeah. The fourth one down is the A, I believe, and then if you just click, it'll make a box.
I mean, I can say for me, you know, it's what it's done for my students is it's made me a different teacher. You know, that it's had connections for me. Oh, someone else type in there because that just looks horrible. And so feel free, everyone, to add in. And I also just wanted to say to Kyle that one of the things you said about the book club, you know, I just came back from ISTE not too long ago, and one of the things I always say about ISTE is I need to go there so that I can be with people who not only don't call me crazy, but are just as crazy as I am. And that's what's so great about connecting with people. It Show them there's more out there. And they can make a difference. That's just huge. Okay, I'm going to move on. Yes? Okay. So there are lead teachers from 2012, 2013. These are people who Michael feels, or other people feel, have really made a significant contribution to the professional learning of teachers around the world through the blog, through Twitter chats. They're inspiring their students learning through global connections. They're helping other people with online learning spaces and developing the global classroom projects. And they're creating innovative and pioneering projects which show what is available out there and what people can do. So there is going to be a list on the blog, but some of you are here today. So I just want to make sure people are still here. Karen Learman, congratulations. You were awarded the IFTI K.L. Bitter Vision Award earlier this year, and Karen has become an integral part of the Global Classroom community. We're proud to work with such a passionate and innovative early childhood educator who works to make a difference for her students. So well done, Karen. Well done. Woohoo! Lori, is Lori still here? Oh, I think she left. Okay, then we'll go on. I'm trying. Sarah Thompson is here. We're not sure how many Global Classroom folks know Sarah, but you will certainly know her work. Sarah's been a key member of our 2012-2013 Wiki management team, and we're very grateful for her giving up her time and expertise and support to support the behind-the-scenes management of the Global Classroom community. Thank you, Sarah. Woo!
Thanks for doing this. I'm just putting their stuff in the chat, so thanks.
So Karen Statler. It's hard. Well, we have described Karen's Traveling Rhino project, but we all tend to agree with the rave reviews from participants who call it the epitome of a global project. What else can we say except that we think this project is going places? Heidi. Is Heidi still here? Yes, Heidi. Heidi Hutchinson. Over the past year, Heidi has proved to be an exemplary Global Classroom teacher, drawing upon the community resources and support to launch her first and very successful global project, the Malala Project. This project was one of our first student-led investigative projects which responded to current real-world issues, and we look forward to seeing many more in the future. Is Kyle still here? Is Kyle still here? I'm going to assume Kyle is still here. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why I don't see
here.
you in the list, Kyle. I'm not sure. Kyle has had a busy year organizing and leading the Flat Classroom Virtual Book Club in early 2013. She remains one of our few active Global Classroom secondary teachers, and we can't wait to see what she creates in 2012-2013. And I think we need to get more secondary teachers involved. That would be fabulous.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Teresa Allen. Affectionately known as the lady who never sleeps, Teresa is omnipresent in the Global Classroom world. Anytime help is required for a project or a favor is asked, she has always come to the fore. Teresa has been a key leader and Global Classroom mentor, and her contribution has been deeply valued by teachers all over the world.
And we cannot forget Lisa Parisi. Woohoo!
We were trying to.
I wasn't going to. So I think this is from Michael. He says, when I eventually find a class of my own, I'll be modeling my global collaboration activities on Lisa's exemplary record. I'm indebted to Karen Statler for creating the project, which turned Lisa into such a passionate advocate for the Global Classroom community, and very much looking forward to working more closely with her the following school year, 2013-2014. Woo-woo!
And so congratulations to all of our lead teachers, and here are the names of all of them. You can see who's here that wasn't here and that we didn't talk about, but they're all amazing. And all of these people were nominated by somebody in the community. So amazing, amazing. And many thanks to all of these Global Classroom chat people. The Global Classroom chats have been really a fabulous way to connect also, and to all the people who have been part of it. And so we're going to change the world with our 2013-2014 wiki. And there is the link. And if you want to contact Michael, that's his Twitter account at Organizers. And thank you very much for attending and contributing and being part of it. And thank you, Teresa for helping moderate. And yay, everybody.
Yay. Thank you all. And I'm glad I made it through.
You can't have too many Teresas. You can't have too many Teresas. It's impossible.
So the one thing I'm going to ask before everyone leaves is to just put your Twitter name in the chat, because I know I follow a lot of you, but I don't follow all of you, and I really want to. And it was great talking to everybody.
I'm going to turn off the recording.
I think we were off time zone wise on when this conference was taking place, so we're very sorry that we weren't able to join until until this was so late in the game. But we really want to be involved in the future and would love to be a part of your next conference or your next. Yeah.
And Teresa just hit the recording again. I'm going to talk because I think Teresa, we might lose her soon. But can you tell us about like what we can do to be part of your project?
Yeah, definitely. See, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Open World Cause. We
start at the beginning.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Start at the beginning.
Okay, definitely.
Oh, I just lost you.
Oh no. Come back.
Okay.
Maybe he will. Just give him a second. I've got to put this on the desktop here. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put the link in the chat room in the meantime.
Okay.
And
there we go.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm heading out.
Connor, you may just need to hit your talk button again.
Ben left.
No,
okay.
Gone. Oh well. So I put the link in the chat room for Open World Cause, and I definitely am going to. They're building a school, and I definitely am going to look into that. And it's another project. I think that that Michael, we'll have to sit down with Michael and talk about. We want the Malala project on there, and we want this Open World project on there. I want to see some of the other projects that were mentioned from Heidi and other people. I think that if you have a project that you're working on that you want available to people, to please, contact Michael, contact me, Teresa, anyone in here, and let's put this on the Global Classroom Project wiki so that we can get it out there to everyone. And thank you all for coming.
Watching Netflix, and I think we all got kicked off at the same time. So.
Well, I did put the link in the chat room. So
awesome. Okay.
And the other thing is I'm going to talk to Michael about what is going on the wiki for this year, and I would like to include this.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I am so sorry again about today. We would love to be a part of your next conversation, though. We've been really eager to get more involved with this like collaborative that you have here. We've been talking to Michael on and off for the last few months and have really been wanting to take this opportunity.
Well, I think it's a good project. It's a good site to put on the website. And one of the things I'm going to talk to Michael about also is just instead of putting it on as a project, maybe putting it like putting links on the site of things we might build projects around.
Okay.
So, and I think that's what this looks like to me. You know, I know personally for me, I'm going to look into it. I teach 5th grade, and see if I can build a project around it.
Can I tell you about projects we've done with classrooms
Sure.
in the United States? Okay. The biggest project right now, we've partnered this school in Nepal with 4 classrooms in the United States for the next year. Last year, the biggest project that we had was a school in Inman, Kansas, a 6th grade classroom, partnered with the SAV school. What we're doing with Open World right now is we're trying to raise enough money so that the SAV school can build a school with running water and electricity. And also, what's pivotal is that we want to be able to build a school they can call their own. Right now, they lease their school out from a landowner who, from time to time, will just take parts of the land back for something he feels is more profitable, and they've ended up losing about 50 students in the 2 years that we've actually collaborated with the SAV school. Anyways, the 6th grade classroom, what they did is at the SAV school, after a Skype conversation, the SAV school drew their dream schools out, like what their dream school looked like. And what the 6th grade classroom did is that they, after collaborating with the SAV school on multiple occasions, they took these designs, these dream schools, and made a 3D model of each dream school using Google SketchUp. And after using Google SketchUp, they used a 3D printer and printed out these models, these 3D models. And they also traveled to Greensburg, Kansas, where Greensburg is what was actually a few years ago was just absolutely leveled by a tornado. But now it's one of the best examples of a green city in the United States. Everything, they completely rebuilt and everything is self-sustainable. So the 6th grade classroom traveled to Greensburg and looked at how these buildings were self-sustainable and actually created designs that would be self-sustainable for the SAV school so that they wouldn't have to worry, you know, it would lessen the cost of electricity for the SAV school and for the SAV students. So with those designs in mind, they made these self-sustainable designs for the SAV school, and then their efforts were actually they got 3rd place at a major technology conference at Kansas State University, the 6th grade students did, and they're actually physically sending over these 3D models to the SAV school, and the SAV school is going to use these designs as an outline for their new school, and they're actually going to dedicate their 6th grade room after Kim Herron's the Inman classroom, who they collaborated with for this project.
Very cool.
But,
well, you know, I'm going to look into this. I'm also noticing that, you know, I thought the Honeycutt name was coincidence, but now I see you're connected with SDAC.
Yeah, Kevin Honeycutt's my father.
Oh, wow. I've known him for years and years and years.
Wow.
So I would actually love to connect with you myself. I'm
yeah,
at
definitely.
Parisi in Twitter, and I would love for you to you know, I would love to connect with you. I am going to build a project around this. I don't know what it's going to be yet. My kids usually decide what it's going to be, but I'm going to come up with a driving question for them, and we'll see what we can do.
That would be amazing. Thank you so incredibly much. I would also say that the project can be as big or as small as the students make it. One project we're pursuing right now, the students in the United States, all they're doing is they're taking pictures of like, at least this is what the plan is right now, they're just taking pictures of like what the drive to school looks like, what their breakfast looks like, and they're having the staff students, basically they're just sending each other pictures of what a single day looks like over in the United States, and then the SAV students will take pictures of what a single day looks like over, in Bageshwari, Nepal. And it's basically a project. I don't know if the school we're working with is still going to pursue it, but from the outline, it was just essentially a cultural awareness project for both the students in Nepal and the students in the United States. But basically, it's just, it can be a project like Kim's, or it can be a project like that. I think every time the students in the SAV school connect with someone, they just absolutely love the experience. And the feedback we've gotten from the schools in the United States has been overwhelming, too. It's amazing to see how inspired the students both in Nepal and students in the United States, or whoever or wherever is connecting with the SAV school, it's amazing to see how inspired they become just from this type of connection.
Well, thank you very much for this. I just sent you a tweet, although my computer is very slow right now, so it's not going through yet. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will talk to